We are welcoming light heavyweight Gabriel Hands of Stone Mota to the Fightlete Report. Once again, he fights Jason Butcher. HR1 MMA presents B2 Fighting Series, May 8th, Covington, Kentucky. Train at Chicago Fight Team as well. And we appreciate you being on the show. Of course, a veteran of Hoosier Fight Club. And your last win was over Bobby Downs, and you got a big knockout. So that's the question I'm going to ask. How did that feel? I know the previous fight didn't go your way at HFC, and, you know, got the opportunity to fight, you know, during a time where it's really hard to find fights as well.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, I appreciate being on the show. And yeah, man, after my last loss, it was February of 2020, I believe. Obviously, it was in my hometown at the Horseshoe. And yeah, man, I mean, like I said earlier, you know, you've been in the beginning of my career. You kind of noticed it was a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of just like trying to figure out where I belong, man. First of all, before I went to CFT, it was just trying to find that connection with teammates and the coach. You know what I mean? So after my last loss in February last year, or 2020, excuse me. Yeah, last year, I kind of took some time off from training and was kind of just doing my own thing, man, really reflecting to see what I was going to do, to see if I was going to continue fighting or not. And I was up in Michigan. I was training with Robert Gidron.
Okay.
We were training for a bit together, doing some stuff because he had a fight for CFFC, I believe. So I was out there getting him ready. And, you know, just not really training like for a fight, you know what I mean? And then, man, I forgot how I reached out to Coach Roberto. But all I remember, I forgot where it was, but I remember I had messaged him. I was like, hey, man, you guys got any openings, you know, just so I could try to get back in shape. Because, dude, I got up to, man, this is going to be crazy. I got up to like 248.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. After my fight, and mind you, February 2020 at the Horseshoe, that was 185, bro.
Right.
So I'm talking like mid-June, July, I was 248, 249, my heaviest. Yeah. And you know, like I said, I wasn't even training to fight. I wasn't even trying to do anything. I was just helping my boy out get ready for his fight and everything, because he was facing a wrestler, you know, and me wrestling. Right. So I went to go help him out. And then when I came back, you know, it was one of those things like, hey, maybe I should just try to get back in shape. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, you know how it is with these MMA gyms. You try to go somewhere, you don't really, either one, you don't really get along with the people, or two, they don't have guys your size. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I remember at CFT, man, just throughout the years, especially in my amateur career, I would always see CFT. They would always have big guys and everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I had messaged coach, like, hey, man, you mind if I come by just to check it out? You know what I mean? Nothing right. to join or nothing. Literally just to like try to stay in shape.
Right.
He's like, yeah, come on by, man. Come on by on a Friday. So I was like, all right, perfect, man. I'll go. I went. First day, man. It was like one of those things that you feel like you belong somewhere. You know what I mean? I walked through the doors and instantly, bro, like there was no animosity. People didn't mean mug me. I don't know, man. It's the first time in a long time, like, you actually go somewhere and you feel like you belong. Like, it was just like a wrestling atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like, you go to that practice room, everybody's there to do the same thing. That's how it was. That's how it was when I walked into CFT, you know? Like, I've been to some gyms where people just mean mug me. And then when it comes to sparring, like, everybody, you know, ego sparring, this and that. But I got there, man. Dude, welcome me, from the fighters to the people taking the classes. Dude, everybody was just, I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to that at all. Everybody's like, hey, man, this and that. I'm like, hey. Like, I've never had to introduce myself so many times.
Right.
But it was nice, man. It was nice. So I told Coach Roberto, man, I stayed for one training session. I told him, I was like, dude, I think I want to sign up, man. I didn't think I was going to fight, though. I just wanted to sign up.
Okay.
Man, that following week I went there, started training. Next thing I know, man, I'm in there already 2 months. And I was like, dude, I think I want to fight. And fast forward to what? August, September, October, we get a fight. It was against Bobby Downs. And, man, within those 3 months of me being there, I've never done so much jiu-jitsu in my life. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow.
I've never done so much jiu-jitsu in my life than I have at CFT. That's for sure, man. And you know, when I was gonna fight Bobby Downs, I knew he was a kickboxer, good striker, man, LFA veteran. I was like, man, this guy, you know, I'm gonna be in for a war, you know. So I had all these guys over there at CFT getting me ready. Hector, Nick, I had Lewis Taylor, all those guys coming in, helping me out, man. Dude, it's just a different atmosphere over there. I really don't know how to explain it, man. Like, I've been to bigger gyms, I have, and nothing against them, but at CFT, man, it's not a big gym, but you walk in there and it's just like you feel like you're the best in the world, man. It's so hard to explain, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Training alongside Horacio and Belal, like, I don't train with them, but I train alongside with them. Like, they'll be, you know, I'll be on the mats, I'll be in the cage, or vice versa. Dude, just seeing them train, you know, even like Max Perez, seeing him train. We got Lorenzo now over there, seeing him train, and all these other guys, and, you know, Nick too. Like, being in that atmosphere, man, I feel like I was unstoppable. You know what I mean? Sure. And this was my first fight ever, bro, where I was not nervous. You know what I mean? Not nervous. I didn't care about this guy's credentials, where he fought for, whatever. I just knew, like, I had the best team in the world, man. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. I was like, man, there's nothing this guy's gonna hit me with that I haven't been hit with that training. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, went out there, and I don't know if you saw the fight, but dude, I put on a clinic, man, and got that first round knockout, man. Keep that streak going, you know.
For sure, man. I'm sure you were excited to go out there and demonstrate that. For you, you know, obviously with other fighters in 2020, you know, you hit a lull. You know, a lot of fighters didn't have opportunities to fight. Admittedly, they've told me that, you know, they would stay up late, you know, mess around, you know what I mean? Obviously, get out of their discipline. And how'd you deal with
that? Honestly, man, with the whole weight gain, when I got big, it was after my loss. I just, like, after that loss, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm grateful for every loss I've had in my career. And I know it sounds weird, man, because you're like, dude, what the fuck, or what the heck? But I'm definitely I'm grateful for every loss that I've had, man. And honestly, I'm grateful to be in the position where I'm at right now, because if I would have never had any of those losses, I would have never had to, like, realize what I need to do as a fighter. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I started off, dude, as, you know, obviously you see the knockouts, but I was a wrestler first and foremost, man. You know, I wrestled high school, I wrestled in college. But it was like going to all these places. I never found someone that could really help me fine tune everything, you can say, you know what I mean? And like I said, with each loss, man, when I first went 0-3, it was just one of those things where I took those fights at a wrong time in my life. You know what I mean? Wrong time in my life. I took those things to cope with the pain. You know, I'm a bigger person. I owned up to it. You know, I should have never went pro, but I did. Okay. You know, and I did. And at that time, I was really reflecting whether I should fight or not, whatnot. But then, like I said, you know, I came back in 2019, knocked everybody out. And it was just one of those things where, like I said, I was doing good. I went from 0-3 to 3-3. Think about it. You know what I mean? What I messed up in, 2 years or a year and a half, I fixed in 6 months.
Right.
And then it was just one of those things where I guess, you know, you just attract those wrong people that are there for the wrong reasons. So I'm training, and, you know, all these guys are hyping me up, this and that. And I really, even during those wins, I was never happy, man, because I knew I needed to fix something, man. There's no way I'm going to keep knocking people out in 20 seconds. I'm sorry, I'll be real with myself. There's no way I was going to keep knocking people out like that. But it was just the place that I was at, the people I was around, they didn't see nothing more what I wanted to see. You know what I mean? I would always ask, hey, what do I need to do? And it was just one of those, no, what you're doing is fine. What you're doing is fine. And, you know, obviously I fight last February, and it wasn't the way I was, you know what I mean? And nothing against, who was it? Lance Wright that I fought. Yeah. Nothing against him, man. Like, he's a great fighter, you know, tough guy, but there's no way I should have went out like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it was at my own fault. I don't blame anybody but myself. But leading up to that fight, I knew I needed to do something different, and I didn't go with my gut feeling, man. Mm-hmm. I didn't go with my gut feeling. You know, and I wanted to switch gyms at that point. Again, nothing against anybody, just because I needed to better myself, you know. But I was like, you know what, man, maybe I'm just second guessing myself, this and that. So I went out there, fought horrible, had a horrible weight cut. And like I said, nothing against Lance, man. That dude, he's a good fighter, man. Respect to him, but that wasn't me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I said, after that loss, man, I needed that. You know, I needed that. I was down in the dumps for some time, man. Like I said, I didn't train, I didn't do nothing. That whole COVID stuff didn't help either, man. So obviously the gyms were closed. I was eating whatever I wanted, doing whatever I wanted. Didn't work out. And like I said, man, just let myself go. And it was hard, man. Like I said, it was hard to come back because going from 0-3 to winning 3 in a row to losing again, it's like, dude, it's like mind games, bro. It's like, dude, am I good? Am I not good? What do I do? Should I stop? Should I not stop? You know, and I'm at that age where, like, if I stop, I can still go get a good career. But if I stop, I'll never see what my full potential is. So I'm like back and forth with myself, dude, for months. And like I said, I was just helping out my boy get ready for his CFFC fight. And didn't plan to fight again. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I did not plan to fight anymore. Realistically.
Wow.
Yeah. And here I am, man, fighting for a title in like 10 and 12 days, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you know, what did you learn from your previous fight that helped you when you took on Bobby Downs? And, you know, anything that stood out that you had to did you review the fight with your team from HFC?
Honestly, man, what I had to do for Bobby Downs, more so it was for myself, man. Mentally.
Okay.
I had to believe that I was a fighter who I was the year before in 2019, I should say, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna be better than him. That's what I have to tell myself. And like I said, again, nothing to any other gyms or places I've been to, but as CFT, man, Coach Ramirez, dude, before I would leave practice, he would always tell me what I did wrong or what I did good. I never had a training session where I would leave and he wouldn't say nothing. Mm-hmm. And if I would leave, he didn't say nothing, I'd get a message from him later on. Hey, good job today, this, that. Like, that's one thing that like I told you earlier, man, like I knew I needed stuff to work on. Coach Ramirez, man, he's always on me every session. Even the days that I don't go to CFT, he's like, hey, what'd you do today? How many rounds you put in? Did you run? Where's your weight at? This and that. And I guess just having that positivity and someone actually care about me as a fighter, you know what I mean? And a person outside of it was motivating enough. So going into this Bobby Downs fight, I wasn't used to that. Think about it, man. My whole career, bro, like I didn't have coaches text me and see how I was doing. I didn't have teammates check up on me, nothing like that. You know what I mean? After a loss, people just leave me there like I was nothing.
Wow.
But like I said, when I was winning, bro, everybody was hitting me up. Everybody. But when I lost, like I said, man, I learned so much. I didn't hear nothing from nobody except my boxing coach. My boxing coach, Jesus Dominguez over there at the Hammond Boxing Club. Win or lose, man, that dude's always been by my side. I had to give him a shout out, man, because he's believed in me. He's believed in me when nobody else did, man. Everybody left me in the dumps before I went to CFT. So shout out to my boxing coach. But going into this Bobby Downs fight, I kind of had that idea already of what I needed to fix. Why? Because every day after training, I knew what I did good. I knew what I did bad. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like I said, man, I didn't think this dude was going to stand and bang with me. I thought like, okay, I'm going to hit him. He's going to try to take me down. So I was doing crazy amount of jiu-jitsu, man. Me and my boy Nick over at CFT, man, I don't know how, dude. I felt like I was getting more cauliflower, bro. That's how much we were rolling, fighting off my back. I was like, there's no way this guy's going to want to stand and bang with me. So we were doing a lot of jiu-jitsu. I was doing a lot of feints. I was doing a lot of wrestling. Man, come fight night, this dude didn't even wrestle with me. He didn't try to take me down, nothing, man. It was just a stand-up war, you know? Right. But, man, like I said, I seen the Bobby Down fights. I was ready for everything. Like I said, at CFT, man, I get looks of everything, dude. Like, even on my own wrestling, dude. Like, my wrestling. I always thought I was a good wrestler. I used to go to all these gyms, take all these guys down, you know what I mean? Right. From 185 to heavyweight. But at CFT, man, dude, these guys are some serious killers over there, bro. Like, some serious. And you would walk in there like, I got this guy. And you're next thing you know, you're scrambling or you're in there, he's moving his head, you can't hit him. And, you know, that's what I like. I like being pushed every day. You know what I mean? Right. So going into that Bobby Downs fight, there wasn't no question on what I needed to work on because every day I was working on something new. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, man.
That's great, man. You said you've been joining Chicago Fight Team a lot of people have been contributing to your success. Of course, Roberto Ramirez, the head coach, you just mentioned how he checked up on you and he keeps adding to your arsenal. And then who else do you feel like contributes to your success?
Man, my boxing coach, like I said, my boxing coach, Jesus Dominguez, that dude, man, from my pro boxing debut to even I met him towards the end of 2019.
Okay.
And we started working together, you know what I mean? He helped me because I made my pro boxing debut in 2019, December it was. And it was like a 13-day notice. Like, hey, you want to fight this guy that was 3-0? I was like, yeah, why not, man? You know me, bro. I'm always down to fight, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, but I had no coach at the time. Excuse me. So I asked Jesus, I was like, hey, you mind if I work with you? Man, we got me ready, won my debut. And it was just one of those things where we clicked, man. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
He understands me being a short, stocky guy. I'm not going to pump jabs all day, man. You know what I mean? I got to slip, move, get in. You know, I mean, you've seen obviously how I fight. So we instantly clicked, man, with the bobbing and weaving, just everything. Everything you see now, me as a fighter, as a boxer, as a striker, I should say, I have to thank him for, you know what I mean? And like I said, he's another guy that messages me. After my loss in February of last year, I didn't hear anything from anybody, well, obviously, except my mom, my brother, stuff like that. But as far as like everybody else, nothing. He was the first one to text me, man. First one, and checked up on me after that. And, you know, even through that whole COVID stuff, he always checked up on me, always worked with me, man. And he was just one of those guys, like, I kind of trusted after a while, you know?
Sure.
And he, like I said, he plays a huge part of my success because he's got a family of his own, a job that he does, but he still makes time to help me train, you know what I mean? And he trains other people at the Hammond Boxing Club, you know? And as well as, like, I got another coach over there, Coach Rudy, he helps out. Coach Rafael, he, you know what I mean? All those guys. But as far as my striking coach goes, Coach Jesus, without a doubt, man. Coach Zeus, big shout out to him, man, because without him and Coach Ramirez, I would not be where I'm at right now. And I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wanted to call it quits a couple months ago, a while back, actually. And both of them didn't let me, man. Even after my fight after Bobby Downs, I wanted to quit. I know it sounds weird, bro. But it was like, I thought it was just a fluke. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like I said, that's where I was mentally. Mentally, I was just like, man, you know, I remember Coach, I thought Coach was going to, like, give me a whooping, man, because he's like, dude, you just won. But it was just one of those things where, like I said, man, mentally, I was just barely starting to come back from everything. So, you know, big shout out to Coach Ramirez and Coach Jesus Dominguez and, you know, everybody at CFT, man. CFT, Lewis Taylor with some positivity too. And then obviously my family, my mom, everybody. You know, the mom's always the hypest one, man. So my big shout out to my mom. And then my brothers, man. My brother, he was one of those guys too, man. He texted me to check up on me. And then my oldest brother, man, well, he's not my real brother, but we've been friends for 10 years, you know what I mean? And he's like my older brother. He was another one, man, that kept pushing me to keep going, you know what I mean? So I did have a good group of people, man, you know what I mean? So my brother, Alfonso, my brother AJ, my mom, you know, my coaches. So I did have a good handful of people, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And then my boys out here that always help me train, you know, like Esteban and my boy Martinez, all these guys that, you know, when I didn't have nowhere to train before I started doing all this, they would be there for me. And even now and then, man, they help me out every now and then to keep training. So it's like my close circle from where I first started to now is still there. And then we added like 2 or 3 more people along with it, you know what I mean? That I know are for sure there for me, you know? And like I said, man, I'm not worried for whatever comes my way, you know, like this Jason Butcher fight. I didn't know who the guy was, honestly, man. I didn't know who he was. And then coach told me, he's like, yeah, he fought on the same night that Lewis Taylor, I guess, won the $1 million tournament.
Okay.
For PFL. So I looked him up. Sure enough, he had 2 fights in PFL. And then, dude, he even fought Jack Hermanson in Bellator. Nice. Yeah, dude. So I was like, oh, man, like, for me, you would think, man, somebody else, like, oh, I don't know. Me, I was like, dude, I'm geeked. Like, this guy's going to be game to fight, you know? And you know me, man, I'm ready to stand and bang, dude, you know? So sure. I was excited when I got this opportunity because I know this is a big opportunity for me. I don't care about the belt. I mean, don't get me wrong, having a belt is nice, but it's the name that I'm after. You know what I mean?
Oh, I understand. And I mean, you're fighting Jason Butcher. It's for the light heavyweight title, which is huge, veteran, but he hasn't competed in MMA since that PFL season that you talked about. But he's done the grappling tournaments or events consistently. So what are you preparing for in this fight? You think he's going to take you to the ground? Or?
I mean, man, like, dude, I go into these fights always prepared for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I go into these fights like either he's gonna get knocked out, I'm gonna get knocked out. I never talk smack. I never say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I go in there, you know, ready to kill, man. You know, and I know it's a sport, this and that, but mentally I go in there like this is how I make a living, man. You know what I mean? Besides personal training, this is what I do to make a living. You know what I mean? I can't let these guys beat me. How am I gonna put a roof over my head? You know, put gas in my car, put food on the table. You know what I mean? Like, this is my livelihood, you know? And again, nothing against anybody that I fight, but man, I'm the wrong person to sign a contract with, man. And like, it's like every fight, dude, these guys just, it's like, I seem to be like, almost in a sense, like they try to use me as like a stepping stool, you know what I mean? Right. And I've noticed it. You could go look at my fights, bro. Like, they try to hype the other guys, and here I go ruining it for everybody, knocking them out, whatever it may be, you know what I mean? And it's okay, man. You know, I tell people I'm from Hammond, Indiana. They don't know where that's at. Right. Nobody knows where Hammond's at. I say, we're in between Gary and Chicago. Like, oh, or I say Horseshoe Casino. Everybody knows that. Right. But for me, you know, like, yeah, it's a huge opportunity, but it's something that's gonna bring more notice to where I come from. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I know this guy, like I said, this guy's gonna come out. He's gonna try to grapple with me. It's okay though. It's okay. I'm prepared, dude. Like, this last since I've been at CFT, dude, it's just straight grappling, man. And I grapple with guys that are black belts, blue, purple belts, brown belts, guys like that. You know what I mean? So I welcome it, man. I do. I don't care. I wrestled in college, bro. That's another thing people forget, dude. I wrestled in college. Like, man, like, I have wins over Division I guys. You know what I mean? Like, not that matters, but it's like, if we're gonna start comparing grappling, then okay, jiu-jitsu versus wrestling, you know, it should cancel itself out. And then what does that leave left? Striking. Yeah. You know, but the guy, he's got some good striking too, man. I think he has 6 TKOs or something like that. 5 submission wins, something like that. So the guy can strike, apparently. So I welcome him, man. I welcome whatever, bro. If he wants to grapple, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to pull off like an armbar or something fancy. No, I'm just kidding, bro. I ain't gonna do nothing like that. But I welcome the submissions, man. I do. I'm not who I was last year, where right. I questioned my skill as a fighter. You know, I'm comfortable wherever this goes. Obviously, I love to stand and bang, but you know, this guy, he's not an amateur, he's not a novice, bro. He's a veteran. You know, he's fought in Bellator, he's fought in PFL, he's fought some tough guys, man. And I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna bring the fight to him, you know, and that's all I can do, man. Just trust him and my coaches, trust in my teammates, trust in myself, man, and that's it. Have faith in God, and I know what I'm capable of, man. That's why I'm so calm, cool, and collective, because there's nothing he's gonna do that's gonna surprise me, you know.
And you talk about that wave of momentum, you know, you had, right? And it was interesting to hear from your perspective. You felt something was missing. You weren't happy. And although, you know, it was stopped temporarily a year ago, where do you feel you're headed in 2021? Any idea?
Honestly, man, I do want to capture some local titles. Okay. So obviously the HR MMA one's pretty cool. I definitely want to go after the LFA one. Yeah. Maybe the CFFC. And it's crazy because some of those guys, man, I was supposed to fight one of the guys who won the light heavyweight title for LFA, and then he went to UFC. And then they didn't book the fight. He ended up fighting some other bum, whatever. Okay. So I like, and it's great. And here's another thing, bro. I've had so many opportunities to fight these guys, these like prospects or whatever. All of them turn me down, bro. All of them turn me down. Wow. I was supposed to fight for a WBC Intercontinental Cruiserweight title, whatever, something like that. Guy didn't fight me. I was supposed to fight another guy who was 5-1, didn't fight me. All these guys, bro, they all fight lesser guys. Right. And again, don't get me wrong. It's all about, you know, looking pretty records, this and that. But then when you get to the bigger shows, that record doesn't matter, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could be 10-0. You fight a guy who's 6-4, and that 6-4 guy will come out knocking you out. You know what I mean? Stuff like you see it all the time, bro. You see it all the time. You know it.
Right.
So it's like within these last couple months, I've had a lot of big fight opportunity and last minute fight opportunities. Even Coach Roberto will tell you, but the guys never followed through with them. You know, and I've never turned down a fight, man. I've never turned down a fight. Boxing, MMA, never. I would cut, dude. There was my last fight. I was trying to cut 20 pounds in 3 days just to fight a UFC vet. Nothing. You know what I mean? They didn't take the fight. And I get it, man. Like I saw my coach's interview, you know, I'm in a position where they look at my record. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll fight this guy. Then they see the way I win. Like, yeah, we don't want to, you know what I mean? Right. But it's cool though, because I know where I started. Like I said, man, my career was rough, 0-3. But in my last 5, if you look back, dude, I'm 4-1, all 4 knockouts, man. Mm-hmm. Like who can really do that? Honestly, not a lot of people can do that. You know, everybody wants to go out there and play it safe. And you know, you seen my amateur career, man. I'm not one to go out there and play it safe. You know, my fans, where I come from in Hammond, bro, it's a lot of people that work hard to make ends meet. You know what I mean? Right. And if they buy tickets from me, I'm gonna give them a show, man. I'm gonna give them a show. Anybody that goes to sports, man, I'm gonna give them a show. I'm not gonna go out there, take a guy down, lay and pray for 3 to 5 rounds. You know what I mean? If that's the case, I'll start posting up my college wrestling matches, you know what I mean? Or my Naga tournaments, if that's the case. And I don't mean to, you know, disrespect anybody, but like people don't want to see that. Well, at least my fans don't want to see that. Right. You know what I mean? And I put that into consideration. You know, I put into consideration a lot of people spend their hard-earned money to buy tickets to support a fighter. You know what I mean? Right. And I want to go out there and make sure my fans and my family, everybody gets their money's worth when it comes to seeing me fight. Mm-hmm. Win or lose, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm definitely in a better mindset. I'm definitely a better fighter than I was even in 2019, man. Yeah. I've been working really hard, really, really hard, and I'm excited, man. I really am. I can't seem to see any doubt in this fight, man. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because the guy is good, but he's good, but I'm also great, you know? So it's one of those things where it's just we go out there and see who's the better person that night, you know?
Definitely. What do you do for recovery after each of your training sessions? Anything you use?
Yeah. And I started making appointments once a week with a deep tissue massage therapist.
Okay.
That's been good. Ice baths, they suck, but I've been doing those. Honestly, man, but just resting more than anything. That's another big thing that I've been doing more lately is resting. I've never really utilized that as much, but like at training at CFT, man, rest days are a must, bro. Even when I don't have a fight, and I didn't have a fight and I was training, dude, I was still beat up, man. Like that should tell you the type of environment that is, you know. It's one of those places where, like, man, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna really work. Whether you're taking one of the classes or you're training for a fight, you're gonna work, you know. And so recovery for me has been really important, man. So like I said, I've been getting weekly deep tissue massages, and then ice baths every now and then.
Nice, that seems to work. How do you feel about fighting international competition one day? You know, getting that opportunity, the bigger shows. You know, and COVID-19 is hopefully a thing of the past.
Oh, dude, I want to fight a Russian, man. I want to see their wrestling compared to my wrestling. You know what I mean? That's definitely on the top of my list, man. Just go out there, just grapple a little bit, just to see where I stand at. But man, I'm like I said, dude, I'll fight anybody. You know, I know it's a typical fighter answer, but I've never turned down a fight. And even back then, when, like I said earlier, man, when I first started, even though I wasn't in the right mindset, I was taking these fights, bro, to fight because that's what I am, dude. I'm a fighter, you know. That's all I really know. And the crazy thing is, like, dude, I haven't even been an athlete my whole life. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I did this when I was 5 or 6. Bro, I started doing sports at 16.
Definitely.
I started late in life, you know what I mean? 16, I'm 29 right now. So what, 13 years? Mm-hmm. Not a long time of being an athlete, man. So I still got a long pro career ahead of me, man.
Definitely. And how do you feel about Belal Muhammad? I know he's fighting Damien Maya. You're getting to know Belal the past year. You know, how do you feel he's going to perform in this one? Maya's obviously, one of those fights that can be very tricky. You've seen him submit guys before, and even in the stand-up game, it's not always going to go the way you anticipate with a guy hefty like Damien.
Well, man, Belal, look, this is just me of experience, man. This is just me experience. Belal is a tough dude to take down, man. Yeah. And I'm telling you from experience, like I wrestled heavyweight in college. Let me just say that out there right now. I wrestled heavyweight in college. So these guys are they're cutting to 285, bro.
Right.
So I'm wrestling guys 285 plus, you know what I mean? And I would take them down with ease. I get underneath the hips, being the shorter guy. With Belal, dude, this dude, the first time, I forgot who it was, who we were getting him ready for. This was last year. I don't even think he had did he have a fight? Who was he fighting? I'm not too sure. I knew he was mid-camp. And I jumped into his session just to help him out with his grappling, you know what I mean? Just the wrestling. We were going off the cage. Dude, I shot in on it. I'm like, I got in deep. I'm like, oh, I got this. I got in. Bro, he stuffed my takedown.
Wow.
I felt like I never wrestled a day in my life after I got up. I started questioning my wrestling ability and all that, man. The dude is tough to take down, bro. Tough to take down. And again, this is just from experience. I can't speak for anybody else. And his striking, bro, is flawless, man. He flows with everything. His conditioning is ridiculous, man. It's just one of those. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I jump in his training camps. I don't. But I see him train. I'm there 5-6 feet away from him. I see him put in the work. There is nothing, and again, no disrespect to Damien Maya, but there's nothing that, Belal hasn't seen in the room. You know what I mean? And plus, he goes to Valley Flow too.
Yeah.
And you got to imagine, man, he gets looks over there too. So you can just imagine this dude's ready for everything, man. He's ready for everything. But like I said, from experience, man, trying to take this dude down, the hardest thing ever. Actually, and then I tried to outmuscle him, and he still didn't let me get it. Yeah. And Belal, he's a big dude for 170, man.
Yeah.
He's a big dude for 170, bro. And I was about 225 at the time.
Right.
And yeah, he stuffed that takedown really good, man. So I don't know, man. I got Belal. I'm gonna be the crazy one here and say Belal by TKO, but everybody gonna look at me like I'm the crazy one because I love striking. But I've seen Belal strike, man. I can see it happening.
Definitely, it's gonna be exciting. And then of course, the main event of the next pay-per-view is Shannon Oliveira. Who do you have? UFC 262.
Oh, dude, I gotta go with the wrestler, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. The wrestler with the powerhouse wrestler, bro. Powerhouse wrestler all day. Chandler, man, all day, without a doubt.
How's he get it done?
Come on, man. TKO, bro. TKO, knockout, whatever it may be, man. One thing about him, man, like I gotta respect Chandler for is like if you guys would have followed him through his Bellator career, man, and even leading up to this, and if you follow him on Instagram, bro, his training is ridiculous, dude. Yeah. I'm not trying to throw anything against anybody, but he trains harder than half these UFC guys, man. Yeah. But look at his Instagram, bro. This guy works out like 7 days a week. He has his family in the gym. He's always working hard. Like he carries that wrestler mentality with him, man. And wrestlers, bro, not because I wrestle, but wrestlers in MMA are always the hardest guys to try to like overpower, over dominate, because the grind is like no other. If you've ever been to a wrestling practice, man, whether high school or college, dude, it's intense, man. It's intense, And in college, like when I wrestled in college, dude, it was what 6-7 months out of the year we were practicing, competing, this and that. You know what I mean? So it's one of those mentalities you carry with you. So I got to go with Chandler, man. He's gonna grind it out. He's gonna knock him out.
Yeah, hopefully I'll line him up for a nice shot against either Poirier or McGregor next.
And then I'm gonna still go with Chandler, bro. I'm still go with Chandler without a doubt, man.
Yep, definitely. And then my next question was more like your thoughts on Chris Weidman, and obviously he had, I believe, a broken ankle with that fight with Uriah Hall, and obviously all you fighters, always prepare for the worst. You guys all hope that you come out, even your opponent come out okay, without saying permanent damage, as much as you want to, win the fight aggressively and get that knockout or submission. So what would you say about that? Some words of encouragement, seeing Chris Weidman like that.
Honestly, man, first and foremost, this is why I don't throw kicks in fights. This is exactly why I don't throw kicks. But honestly, man, Weidman, he's a wrestler, man. I watched Chael Sonnen's video on YouTube where he was breaking it down, and I'm not a Chael Sonnen fan, but I really agree with what he said. Weidman's a wrestler. He tried to go out there and go strike for strike with a guy who's a striker. And, you know, I don't know much about Uriah Hall, but, you know, when you're a striker, you kind of learn how to defend anything, no matter where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So the way he threw the kick, I'm almost positive, man, Uriah knew it was going to come at that angle. You know what I mean? Or set it up.
Sure.
I feel like Weidman should have wrestled with him more, you know, fake it,
right.
Commit to those takedowns, because strikers are always heavy on that lead leg. You know what I mean? So me personally, I don't think the strike or the whole kickboxing approach was smart. But man, you know, for experience, man, a wrestler should always be more dominant wrestling when it comes to striking. You know what I mean? All right, MMA, excuse me, and then strike, and then set up your strikes from that. But I mean, think about it. What was it? 15 seconds in or 17 seconds in, like that, dude? That was crazy, man. I just hope it's a speedy recovery. But man, and then there was no setup to it neither. It was just like,
yeah,
bro, anybody could have seen that coming, you know? So I mean, it sucks. It sucks, but I feel like if you're gonna go, like I said, strike for strike with a striker, you gotta set it up differently. You know what I mean? But man, it's just one of those things where, like, it definitely, me as a fighter, like, I don't know, man, it makes me want to, like, not throw kicks anymore. And I'm gonna throw kicks, I'm gonna throw it somewhere where it's meatier, man. You know what I mean?
Right. I
So
understand. Yeah, tough break for him. And then what can we expect in your fight? Of course, you know, check it out. Jason Butcher, HR1 MMA presents B2 Fighting Series, May 8th.
Man, you already know, bro. I'm just an exciting fight, man. An exciting fight. If he's gonna come forward, I'm obviously gonna go forward, man. And if he's gonna stand in the middle and throw punches, I'm gonna throw in there. I'm gonna be there throwing punches, and I'm gonna throw bombs, man. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
If he's gonna stand and commit, then one of us is gonna get knocked out. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? If he wants to wrestle, I can wrestle too. He wants to grapple, I can grapple. But just know it's gonna be an exciting fight, man. Without a doubt, it's gonna be an exciting fight. Definitely new and improved. Gabriel Mota, without a doubt.
Anyone you'd like to thank?
Man, bro, how much time we got? No, I'm just kidding, man. Big shout out to Coach Ramirez over there at CFT, Coach Zeus at HBC. My teammates at CFT, my brothers, my mom, all my sponsors, man. I don't got all the time in the world to name them, but all my sponsors, they know who they are. And, you know, just anybody and everybody that's been supporting me, man, from the good times to the bad, you know. It's only going to get better from here. I promise you guys that.
Well, we appreciate you, Gabriel Mota, for being on the Fight Report. Check out Gabriel Hands of Stone Mota. Takes on Jason Butcher for the HR1 MMA, presents B2 Fighting Series, May 8th. Covington, Kentucky. It's for the light heavyweight title. And we appreciate you, Gabriel, on the show. Best of luck to you.